G'day everybody, Simon here, Explosive Action, back for another black metal vinyl update. Got 9 records here to take a look at, so let's get into it. This is very likely going to be part 1 of 2 black metal vinyl updates. I've got more that have just come in. Once I've had some listening time with them, we will get into a second part of this one in October. But we've got 9 to take a look at here. The first one I'm going to take a look at, I got this one really cheaply used, secondhand, but may as well have never been played. I got this one from Facebook Marketplace. Locally, and this is the split between Monarque, a French-Canadian band, and I'm going to have a few of these attempts through this update, and here's the first one. Neige et Noirceur, sure. And the split is called Cantus Maleficus, with the U's are replaced with V's, just like Behemoth would do. Anyway, this is a 2010 split release from these two Quebecois-based Canadian bands. Monarque, I've got plenty of releases from so far. Excellent black metal band. But the other band, Neige et Noirceur, or is it hard C? Is it Noirceur? I don't know. I want to say Neige et Noirceur. I'm going to go with that. That band is new to me. I had not heard them until this split. Now, the Monarch side is, as always, with this band, impressive. Mournful, sorrowful black metal, French-Canadian, not that dissimilar from Fortress, which, unsurprising given the geography, of course. And Monarch himself, he goes by that pseudonym as well as the band. That's likely him on the front cover, I'd be taking a guess at. He has played live instrumentals for Fortress on a number of occasions. So, a lot of these bands, very similar sound. They give, it's a single-man band. He does 5 tracks, including 2 instrumentals. Mournful, as I said, but always very much raging, up-tempo, fast. Second track, we have track list on the back here. Second track, La Grande Duel, which is the Great Morning, if you translate it. It's all in, French language. 9-minute epic, that particular track. Hits me, that track, very similar to like Dawn did with Folkula back on Slaughter Sun. Like, it's 9-10 minutes long, it's hammering, and it goes through a lot of emotions. That's definitely what I got with that particular track. It's near constant fury, but highly emotional. There's real pained moments in some of the instruments, reminding me of another Quebecois band called Gris, Gris, another French-Canadian band. They're an excellent band. They're even more on the depressive sound here. These guys not quite that level, but that particular track, yes, definitely getting some of that in there. And the final track from them, much more up-tempo, almost Germanic sounding, a bit more stompy, a bit more just aggressive. So, yeah, nice, well-rounded side from them, Monarch. The other side here, there's the other logo there, from Neige et Noirceur. Very different beast entirely. As I said, I'd not heard this band before. Their name translates to Snow and Darkness, so there you go. Very punishing drum machine kind of black metal. Not silly robotic black metal, but like, it's, to me, very much, at least initially, and it's not as one-dimensional, but it is, at least initially, I heard a lot of dark space, hyper-blasting drum machine, and just pain, screeched out vocals, just quite obscure sounding vocals. They did 2 lengthy tracks on here, just simply called Hymn 3 and Hymn 6. Not too sure where the other hymns are in their discography, presumably on other releases. But vocally, like I was saying, they're very unhinged vocal attack on this. Sounds like it's almost run through an audio filter, similar to like But Some and Philosophem, how he had that really weird AM radio sound going through his microphone, which rumor would say that he used a set of headphones as a microphone. So, whatever. But musically, like I was saying, I'm hearing a lot of dark space at this point. Mixes in influences as the length of the songs are broken up into sort of passages, like sections of the song. They're so lengthy they get broken up almost into mini songs, and slows down into some like chromatic stomping riffs, which I wasn't expecting. Then it adds in like keyboard layers, more like lush acoustic guitars. Starts becoming more of an uplifting atmosphere, like that Blue House Nord album from a couple of albums ago, the drug fueled one, like send you to Trip Out City. But then we go back to like this utter ferocity of like Paysage de Verre and almost approaching white noise. So it's all over the spectrum in what you get from black metal, which yeah, I thought that was quite interesting. That initial stuff just makes me go, it sounds like Dark Space. But as you get through these lengthy tracks, there's quite a mix of things going on there. But it's all very cold, and very icy. Very well. What did the band say? Snow and darkness. Perfect description of the band and what they do. So yeah, it's it's a good little split. This one going between two of these French Canadian bands, different approaches, very different approaches, but kind of complement each other nicely. Gatefold release, Monarque and Neige and Noirceur. Yeah, down there looking very cult. And yeah, you get just a black LP. I think that was it. So nothing much else to show, but yeah, tidy little split. Got this, as I said, very cheap. Just wanting to add more to my Monarque collection and finding a new band along the way. So there you go, Monarque with split with Neige et Noirceur, the Cantus Maleficus split album from 2010. So I said there were 9 records in this update. There are technically, but I'm going to be showing the next 4 as one item because I got them all at the same time. They're all the same band. It was one supremely good little haul and a way for me to go from 0 in my collection for this band to 4 instantly and get the majority of the stuff that you want from them. I am talking about Maniac Butcher, and I got here the Barbarians album from 1995. Lucerne Antichrist from 1996. What's this one? This is Krevstreb, I think, from 1997. We're going up a year at a time here. And the last one here with the heavily zoomed in and somewhat hilarious artwork is Kurvner Krev from 1998. So, yeah, quite prolific time for these guys. An album a year. I'll just sort of hold up Barbarians for the moment. Yeah, look, as I said, I've got a solid haul of these guys, all from one French distro that had a bunch of used things come in. I don't know if they bought up a collection or what, but taking a step back, I was listening to a sample online, and I didn't know what the sample was. It was just playing in the background or something. I read some comments, and somebody said it's Maniac Butcher, and I'm like, oh shit, I've never really checked out that band. This sounds great. Went and found some more, listened to it on YouTube, went, why have I not bought anything from this band? Let's see what I can get on record. Of course, went searching. Everything's been out of print for ages, hard to get, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, okay. But one of the Google searches took me to a French, I think it's a French distro called Hasweg, probably how you say it. And they had, I think, literally just listed these 4 albums that day. It said new listing and secondhand. So, yep, into the cart they went, and they arrived within a week. Excellent shipping from that company. But yeah, 4 Maniac Butcher albums in one go. Yeah, just great timing for me. They're almost brand new condition. So I'm not going to go through them all. I'm just going to sort of speak in general terms here. If you know Maniac Butcher, then you'll kind of know that all 4 of these albums intentionally have a very similar sound to them anyway. You talk about one, you're talking about all of them. You're almost just picking your preference of which one you might like for whatever reasons more than others. But what you get, if you don't know them, it's straight up just ripping, quote-unquote, black metal. Like, this is the stuff you could just use as, go to a dictionary, picture of a band, Maniac Butcher, black metal, because this is just so heavily focused on the first 2 Immortal albums. That's basically what you're getting here. This is Diabolical Full Moon Mysticism and Pure Holocaust. I mean, look at the covers. Logo and corpse paint guys with axes. Familiar? And look at this. It's particularly this one. That basically looks like Pure Holocaust. Like, they're not trying. They were definitely not trying to be, some kind of unique, like experimental band. I mean, come on, 1995 anyway. Like, we're only like a couple of years into the entire movement, really. But what really changes with the albums is kind of just maybe the skill set a little bit. The production improves, or at least it changes from the previous albums. My my favorite so far is actually this first one here from 1995, Barbarians. Everything sounds like pure Scandinavian second wave worship. Um, by the last one I've got here, Kerner Krev, it's even more stripped back. Like they've gone even more raw, and the vocals have gotten even more just like drunken, just blurted out. Here, it's almost a little bit more held back. I don't know, like which you'd not expect for the earlier type things. But anyway, this is just like I said, pure immortal, or early immortal kind of black metal. It's of the era, 95, 96. It's exactly what it says. It sounds like it looks. They quite proudly say on some of them, maybe not the back of this one here, but on some of them they say things like, no samples, no keyboards, no female vocals, and they put that on the back with 3 exclamation marks. They're making a point. It's just black metal. For fans of black metal, that's it. That's what these guys do. I think all 4 of them are great. And the band, as you can see, we've got 4 people on this one. Another one we've got 1. Another one you got 2. Kind of varies, but the main 2 people are always the same guys in it. And the band, after the 90s albums, there's one more album, which I need from the 90s, and there's one in 2000, which was kind of a farewell kind of thing, which I'd like to get. Then they took a break. I don't know if they split up or just didn't do anything, but then they came back in, I think it was probably about 2008 or so, did one more album, and I think it was then that one of the members died, and that was sort of the end of Maniac Butcher. I think I'm getting the years right, maybe 2010 or something like that. But anyway, then they are no more. Again, a reason why their stuff is hard to get. But these particular issues were all from about 2018, 2019, and came out on a label called Arges Records, Arges Records, who are also out of the Czech Republic, where the band is from. So, yeah, they're all numbered. This is number 27. It's just luck of the draw on this one. Released by Arges Records 2019. And, yeah, like all this stuff was originally CD. Then some LPs came later. Then a big gap, and then these reissue LPs. And I'm stoked to have these ones. Have a quick look in here. What you get? You get your lyrics and photo of the band. There's a little bit less corpse paint on that one. Actually, looking a bit El Natural. Some comics down the right, which is fantastic. Some gigs that they played, I think. That's what it is. Is that gigs? Yep. And some albums there. And possible to get that one back in, but we'll just take a look at another one. As I said, they're all very similar. There's the back. Very similar stuff. Number 55, I think, of 500 there. And all obviously black LPs. Some more lyrics. So, yeah, look, I won't go through all of them anymore. Let's hold up a different one. Let's hold up Kerner Krev. Brilliant. It's just black metal. And I'm stoked to get it. I'm stoked to go from nothing to 4 instantly, and they're all excellent quality. They all sound great. They're all just excellent reissues here. They've still got the years on the side, 1998 on the back. So I like how they've kept the numbering of the years, so you know exactly. Like it's a nice sort of retrospective. There's only 2 guys on this one here. The main 2, Barbarod and Blasphemer, I think, is pretty much the staples, and then it's just people come and go through the years. So yeah. Great stuff. All the lyrics are in Czech, so I got no idea what's going on. They just get barked at you. But really good stuff here. Quality, straight-up black metal from Maniac Butcher, Barbarians, Lucen Antichrist, Krevstreb, and Kerner Krev from 1998. Great stuff. A short while ago, I showed an album that I picked up from this next band from a metal market, and it's one I took a bit of a chance on. It was the second album, the second full length from the band, and their last one up to now. The band is Perished, and what I picked up here is not their first album, which I still need, but their demo, which has been put on wax, Through the Black Mist. This is from 1994, classic 1994 demo. I mean, that black metal 1994, just Norwegian band. 1994 black metal. I mean, you already know it's just add to cart stuff, and it totally is. This is fantastic. Definitely resembling something like similar period Gehenna. So I think First Spell came out in 1994. The debuts from Dimmu Borgir, like For All Tid, Satyricon, Dark Medieval Times, a lot of that in this sound. big old grey castle in a forest, black metal, that kind of stuff. And look, hooded thingy bobs. Like, this is fantastic. And for a demo, sounds like an album. I know it's been a bit remastered, but damn, this was a well recorded demo. It's never blistering, but it's always got a bit of a speed to it. The focus is more on your atmosphere and your songcraft than just sort of hyper blasting black metal here. Not so much fire and brimstone. It's very warm sounding release. 6 members on this demo, 2 guitars and keyboards, so a very full sound. Plenty of room to breathe. It's organic, like I was saying. It's very fresh, very flowing in its musicality, and medieval, like I said, that Satyricon sound. Acoustic guitar kind of things getting thrown in there, making it feel very, I don't know, castle, like minstrel or something. Lots of mid-pace double bass drums. Like, again, it's not going for hyper blast speed, but there's a lot of mid-pace double bass. Loose cymbal crashing, like it splashes everywhere. It's great. Ever-present, ominous sounding keyboards. Quite, again, four-alted, that just big key sounds being pushed, like that kind of thing. It's very well produced demo. Like I said, really, really good sound. I know it's been remastered, but still, the source material must have been really, really well done. And it's just pure 1994 Norwegian black metal, an underground gem. This is the 2019 Gatefold release from Sinister Flame. There you go. Nice little shrine there. You got an old gig flyer, I think, and there's a book or something, a skull, old photos of the band from back then. Really nice display. And I like the sort of silver foil embossed kind of logo there in the title. It's a great little presentation. I got this again very cheap. This was new, but I think this was new old stock from a local distro. I went looking for the Perish first album, Kark, which I've not yet managed to find, but I found this in a local distro for very cheap and brand new. I'm like, okay, fine, let's give this one a go. Bam. As I said, it's fantastic. It really, really is. I've sent this on to somebody else, and they said they enjoyed it very much. So, yeah. I mean, look, 1994 Norway black metal. Just go buy it. You don't need me to do any of this, like, extra verbal diarrhea. You just need those 3 bullet points, and you are done. Tells you everything you need to hear. So yeah, the next thing I really want to get though is Kark from 1996, but the particular issue I'd like to get is the 2017 one. I think also from Sinister Flame, that had a bonus 7-inch with it. That was the self-titled 7-inch that the band did way back in the 90s, and that'd be really nice because then I had everything I'd need from this band. And it's a just standard black looking LP, nothing much else there, and a band looking incredibly cavalt. And got some lyrics for one track, I think, Autumn Misery. And yeah, just some more photos there. Photos taken out there in the forest, grim and frostbitten. So yeah, Through the Black Mist from Perish, 1994. An excellent demo, sounds great, highly recommended. Next one was another very happy Facebook Marketplace pickup. Not what you'd be expecting to pick up black metal, but there's a few groups I'm in and people sell and trade all the time. And this one was just very happy to see get listed for a very reasonable price, considering what this thing goes for. Wasn't bargain basement, but it was half what Discog asked for. And the damn thing's never been in this country as far as I'm aware. So stoked to get Death Fortress, Deathless March of the Unyielding. This is the second album from this US black metal band, Death Fortress. If you don't know these guys and their fantastic logo and cover artwork, they sound like a mix between Eternus and So the Night Became and somebody like Sacramentum, the Blue. It's a project from Tom and Joe, both out of a band that I'm much more familiar with, Altar of Gore, and another one which you should all be familiar with, Blasphematory. So if you like your modern US death metal and war metal, 2 bands you should check out. But they also had I mean, it's kind of nothing, they haven't done anything in a while, this black metal band, Death Fortress. This album and the 2 that followed it, now the 2 following it I've already got, they got kind of a bit of praise in that sort of 2017, 2018 period. I remember a lot of people talking about them. But really, those other bands are still going. There's a brand new Altar of Gore album. It's just come out. You're going to see it in one of my future updates. Death Fortress seems to have gone quiet, which is a real shame because they're really, really good US black metal. So, like I said, this is their 2016 album, Deathless March of the Unyielding. And you can really tell that this is death metal guys playing black metal. I say a band like Blasphematory and that they play black metal. You're going to get something like this. It is heavier than you would expect. Real bottom end sound to it, quite ferocious. I did say, like going back to the start, I said like that Eternus, So the Night Became, that just rumbling heaviness to the thing is totally here, even though the production is very nasty, quite I don't want to say raw, but it's just harsh. It's a harsh sounding release, but it's exactly what you want this kind of thing to sound like, I think. And with that nastiness and the heaviness, when they play fast, they hit the tremolo, starts getting to that passage de verre, kind of like almost white noise. It's just so fast and staticky and overwhelmingly black metal. It sounds great. They do vary the bass up a bit, the pace, not the bass. They vary the pace up a bit. They go into like crunching, like double kick barrages, slower sort of breakdown kind of moments, melodies that pull at the emotions. When I was listening to it, I was trying to think of where I'm sort of hearing that mix before. It goes from that fast and then bam into your slow, stompy, almost like breakdown kind of thing. Haxanu, I've talked about. They definitely do it. An Irish band, Scan and Ice, they both very much do this, particularly Haxanu. So yeah, definitely hearing that. And Haxanu, another US black metal band. That mix between sort of fast tremolo and then head moving, just bang bang kind of heavy black metal. It's a great mix. It sounds really good. Really adds a bit of spice to it. A lot of good variation. It's not just 4.5 minute songs of just outlandish speed or anything like that. Good mix to it. Of the three albums, there's the back of the three albums that I've got. All excellent, definitely all worth your time. I'm only missing the debut one at the moment, which is Among the Ranks of the Unconquerable, which doesn't look anything like what I'm holding here. This is the first album to use this kind of template and that logo. The first album had a bit more of a cosmic death metal kind of look and a font, the old text Times New Roman kind of logo just at the top. I don't know, maybe they changed their mind. I haven't even heard it, so maybe that has something to do with the sound, or I don't know. I will one day listen to that one and see if I can pick it up. But for the moment, Deathless March of the Unyielding. This is really, 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 really good black metal. And it's a case of, the band may not exist. Hard to say. The label doesn't exist. This came out on Fallen Empire, who called it a day around about 2020, something like that. And they sold off all their stock, and that's it. Whatever you find lingering in distros or secondhand is all you're going to get from that label. And I don't think any of that stuff's been reissued. So all of Death Fortress, I think, is on Fallen Empire. So if you see an album available, pick it up, because quantities are limited, folks. No free steak knives when you are purchasing something from this band. But yeah, I hope I can pick up that first album at some point. But for now, very happy with Death Fortress, Deathless March of the Unyielding. Next up, we have the 2015 debut album from this Luciferian Finnish black metal band that I've spoken about many, many occasions, and I now have completed their full-length discography. This is Malum. This is the only one I was missing, and it was another lucky local find, I think, this one, and I was just stoked to pick this thing up. Check those groups, people, because you never know what you're going to find. Malum, as I said, I've promoted many times as each of their albums come out, I think. Their latest, Devil's Creation, in 2021, arguably their best. I'm pretty sure that made that top 20 for me of that year. Fantastic album. This is their first album from 2015 and is just scathing satanic fury. It will appeal to your obvious fans here, Horner, Sargeist, Behex, and all the Finnish staples. Is a relentless attack, only comes up to breathe momentarily in songs. Like, it really is just ferocity the whole way through, and evil sounding. It is lyrically, it is just all satanic. I mean, crowned with the serpent sun, you know exactly what you're going to get. And that cover, it's a one-trick pony, but I don't care. This thing is awesome. Fast ripping tremolo guitar, equally as fast, blasting drums, spiteful vocals, just channeling all evil deities at the same time. And those vocals actually have a bit of a dark funeral sound to them, sort of shouted and barked. Definitely, yeah, had a bit of a dark funeral sound to it for me. Malum though, it's not a band I can wax poetical about for too long. I mean, it is like I said, it's just they do one thing, they do it well, particularly on this early stuff. By the later album, they started to vary up a bit more, and it's a little bit more dynamic. But here, bam, it is just finished black metal goodness, and I highly recommend it. Just repeated satanic adulation and all its glory in a blizzard of icy yet pretty melodic riffs. Finish, man. They just know how to do it. Memorable tracks, all at a furious tempo, and yeah, like I said, highly recommended, like all their albums. If you're new to the band, if you don't know Malum, back, this one's fine to start with. No reason why you can't start with Crowned with the Serpent Sun, but I'm going to suggest you start with the latest one, Devil's Creation, just because they've had another 6 years or so just to refine their sound and just be a little bit slightly more complex. But if you've got all the others and you need this one, pick it up because it's great. Nothing wrong with starting at the beginning as well. Crowned with the Serpent Sun. Take a look quickly inside. I mean, black and white. Of course, you get a black LP, as you'd expect. And, oh look, very black and white lyric sheet. And there's the band's logo there, which is more prominent on their later albums. But here you kind of get a different looking deal up there. But yeah, great stuff. Malum, Crowned with the Serpent Sun. Finished black metal. Chef's kiss. And the last one for this first part of my black metal vinyl update, part 2 will be coming soon enough. We have the latest album and the newest thing, I think, in this update from awesome band, Spectral Wound, with Songs of Blood and Mire, their brand new release. I think this came out in August, maybe September, probably September actually. But yeah, this Montreal horde are definitely back, and this is their third, quite possibly their best full length so far. I've been spinning this thing quite ad nauseum. It is a catchy beast. Songs of Blood and Mire, a band really starting to make a name for themselves in the scene. There'd probably be a percentage of you that saw me show this and eye rolled, because we're getting to a point here that this is Spectral Wound are being approached like Tomb Mold are being approached in death metal. Like, it's just that bit of a band at the moment, but for damn good reason, because these guys may not be quite decibel cover material, but they will be very soon. They'll at least do one of those flexible 7 inches. That won't be far off if they haven't already. It's just supremely strong, riffy black metal that has enough hooks and melodies to grab more casual listeners and bring them into the fold. It's, I don't want to say like a gateway band or anything like that, but it's definitely just, I hate to say accessible, but let's use the word accessible, but not in a bad way. Let's be all open arms here. Let people into our black metal coven, because I still think it's excellent, and it is for seasoned fans, people that have been around a lot longer, listening to this stuff since the 90s, like some of us have been. It still ticks the boxes. This is a Spectral Wound for everybody, I think. Like I said, they get better and better with each release. 2021's Diabolic Thirst was well received by press and fans alike. So eager ears waiting for this follow-up. I didn't even know it was coming, and then suddenly there was a track on YouTube, and okay, we have a new Spectral Wound. Fine, maybe I missed a memo, but that was in the final. Yeah, it's the final days of August. I think this might have come out like the 30th or something like that. So I've been spinning it for probably a month, look, it just blows the barn doors off. It blows the barn doors off, launches the barn into orbit, and then takes the sheep and cows along with it. And I don't know where I'm going with that, but it's a great album. It rules. It's dark and occult. Again, Quebecois black metal. The third or second time I mentioned Quebec in this update. I mean, for bloody good reason. Like Finland, like all the good black metal's coming out of Quebec these days. Just reinforces the fact there's something in the water in that country for sure. They're death metal, they're black metal. I don't know. It's just, they do it right. So yeah, I mean, the band Spectral Wound, they kind of take those ripping riffs of Finnish black metal staples, Satanic War Master and that stuff, adding in the addictive melodies and those hooks of like Poland's Ungwa for sure, and that Swedish edge and just or imagery and that kind of thing of a band like Kraft. That's mix all that stuff up, particularly that Kraft stuff. I think that's sort of where you got to go with Spectral Wound here. The third track on here, I think it was the third track, Aristocratic. I don't think I'm allowed to say the next word on YouTube anymore. People get banned all the time. But Aristocratic Sui Cider, go with that. Black metal, bloody censorship. It's got a deceptively rock and roll feeling to it, and I think that's the track that hit YouTube, and people are like, "Hang on, where's my Blitzkrieg? Where's my Fury?" But let it get through a couple of bars, and you'll start getting that sound again. And it's far from the black and roll alarm bells that might be ringing in your heads. It's not that kind of thing. It was just a good kind of, I don't know. It was a decent track, I think, to put out there as this is the new track from the album, to show them doing something a little bit different. And it's not that different. I mean, they were doing that stuff on the previous album as well, but just to make a point that they're not all just blast beats and furiosity. There's the guys looking well, like they all need a bath, honestly. But you got your leather jackets and you got your tattoos and you got your shirts and you got your black metal. So yeah, there's the guys there. Very cloaked, very candelabra, very knifey on the front. Yeah, look, that track, I mean, all of it, it does all ultimately end up in fast tremolo because it's black metal and smashing double bass and people making a song and dance about that one track. Just don't worry about it. It honestly was just this album's sort of frigid and spellbound from the previous album, like that catchy one, the one that sort of stands out as being a little bit different. It's a great album. Great modern band that just delivers on the mission statement of earlier bands, and doesn't quite reinvent things, but they do keep it fresh and mix up a lot of sounds. So great stuff. It will definitely appear on the list at the end of the year. Probably some variants, but again, I just went black because that's what was there. I think I got this one at Repressed in the City, I think. Can't quite remember. Maybe I got this one from a distro. I've lost track. But out on Profound Law, so you should be able to get it in a few different places. Spectral Wound, Songs of Blood and Mire. Really great release, 2024. So that's where we're going to call it for this first part one of this two-part black metal vinyl update. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you like, subscribe, and check out the next one when it comes. Check out this guy, and check out this guy. I'll see you all next time.